In the hush of a distant village, nestled among the rolling hills of Flanders, there lived a boy named Nello. He shared a humble, stone cottage with his grandfather, a weathered man whose hands, though calloused, held a gentle warmth for the boy. Their world was small, defined by the cobbles of the village street and the rhythm of the milkman's rounds, for Nello's grandfather toiled dawn till dusk, carrying jugs of fresh milk upon his sturdy shoulders. They were poor, their pockets often lighter than their hearts, yet a profound love bound them together, a quiet strength against the world's indifference. Music fades slightly, suggesting passage of time or a change in mood. One crisp autumn morning, as Nello trailed behind his grandfather on their milk route, they stumbled upon a pitiful sight by the side of the road. A dog, gaunt and shivering, lay huddled amidst the fallen leaves, its tail a mere flicker of life. Abandoned. The grandfather, with a sigh that carried both weariness and compassion, picked up the trembling creature. Nello, his eyes wide with pity, offered it a gentle touch, a shared warmth against the chill. They brought the dog home, tended to its wounds, and shared their meager meal with it. Nello, who possessed a gentle soul that mirrored the softness in his eyes, looked after the creature with particular care. He named him Patrasche, a name that sounded like the steady patting of a large, loyal foot. Patrasche, in turn, offered unwavering companionship, his presence a comforting shadow in their simple lives. Nello often spoke to the dog, sharing his dreams, his fears, and the simple joys of watching the village go about its day. Beyond their small cottage, in the gentle light of sunset, Nello often saw a girl with kind eyes and a smile that seemed to lift the gloom from the village square. Her name was Alois, and she was as gentle as Nello was quiet. They met often, sharing stolen moments beneath the old chestnut tree, talking of dreams and the world beyond their village. Nello's heart, though young, knew a gentle throb whenever Alois was near. Unfortunately, Alois's stern father, a man whose face seemed permanently set in disapproval, held Nello and his poverty in contempt. With a harsh word, he forbade Alois from speaking with or playing with Nello, driving a wedge between the kindred spirits. Music swells slightly, indicating importance or sadness. One winter, a harsh cough settled deep into Nello's grandfather's chest. The milkman's strength waned, his steps grew slower, his spirit dimmed. Soon, he could no longer make the rounds. The weight of their poverty, and the responsibility for their home, fell squarely onto Nello's young shoulders. He had to take his grandfather's place, trudging through the rain and snow, delivering milk, his small hands already rough from the labor. It was a heavy burden, a cruel shift of fate for a boy whose spirit soared not in the market square, but in quiet corners with a pencil and paper. Nello possessed a remarkable gift for drawing. His pencil danced across the page, capturing the fleeting light on water, the solemnity of ancient trees, the gentle curve of his grandfather's face. He loved art, felt it was his true calling, his soul's language. With fierce determination, he dreamed of becoming a painter, perhaps even one as renowned as Peter Paul Rubens, whose vibrant paintings adorned the grand churches of Antwerp. He poured his heart into a drawing, hoping to win a prize at the local exhibition, a chance, perhaps, to prove his worth and find a better life. But the judges saw only the boy's rough hands, not the soulful artist within. He failed. The shadows lengthened in their cottage. The grandfather's breathing became shallow, a fragile rhythm against the relentless advance of winter. Finally, one bleak dawn, the old man's hand slipped from Nello's, his gentle eyes seeing only peace. Bereft, heartbroken, Nello was left alone with the crushing weight of his loss and their dwindling resources. The very next day, faced with the inability to pay rent, the cold cruelty of Alois's father drove him from the only home he knew. He gathered his few belongings, and with a heavy heart, left the cottage behind. Music becomes somber and poignant, now utterly alone, with no place to call his own and few coins left to his name. Nello could no longer care for Patrasche. He made the heart-wrenching decision to leave the loyal dog with Alois, hoping she could give him the life he deserved. But Patrasche, whose loyalty ran deeper than any simple name, could not bear to be parted from his boy. He slipped away from Alois's house, his paws pounding the familiar path back to Nello, guided by an unbreakable bond. Nello was overjoyed to see his faithful friend return. They huddled together, seeking warmth in each other's presence. Patrasche rested his large head on Nello's shoulder, offering silent comfort. But the harsh reality pressed in. They were utterly destitute, freezing in the bleak Flanders winter, their bellies empty, their hope dwindling like a candle in the wind. With no shelter, no food, and the crushing weight of grief and poverty, they found themselves drifting, aimlessly, towards the town's grand cathedral. Inside, the air was still, thick with incense and ancient prayers. Statues of saints looked down with impassive eyes. And there, adorning the vast walls, were paintings by the master himself, Rubens, vibrant, powerful, telling grand stories. Nello, despite his exhaustion and despair, was drawn to one magnificent canvas, depicting a scene of profound beauty and spiritual light. He looked up at the painting, his eyes reflecting the same fading light within him. Patrasche lay down beside him, his own life fading. In the hush of the cathedral, beneath the grand masterpiece by Rubens, the artist he had dreamed of emulating, Nello and Patrasche, bound by love and loyalty, found peace together in their final moments. Their story, a quiet tragedy, faded into the eternal echo of the cathedral.